Gas prices across the nation are now headed downward, what you can expect locally and beyond as we head into October. Plus, the Huntingburg Airport had a special visitor yesterday afternoon, and Chris Jones and Austin Rothgerber discuss Manufacturing Day and Ag Day tonight on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin tonight with a pair of Huntingburg men being arrested following a sports car crash along State Road 64. Just before 11:40 last night, DuBois County Sheriff's deputies say 18-year-old Anthony Eilert of Huntingburg was driving a Pontiac Firebird eastbound along State Road 64 near County Road 50 East. Eilert stated a deer walked into the south side of the roadway. Deputies say Eilert then swerved and downshifted to avoid the deer. As he downshifted, deputies say the vehicle's rear tires lost grip, causing Eilert to lose control of the vehicle. According to deputies, Eilert's vehicle then went into a skid and ran off of the south side of the highway. The left rear of the vehicle hit a tree before coming to rest. Eilert and a passenger, 18-year-old Dustin Conkle, were taken to Memorial Hospital for treatment of their injuries. Once they arrived at the hospital, Eilert was found to be intoxicated while Conkle had small amounts of alcohol in his system. Eilert and Conkle were both lodged in the DuBois County Security Center. Eilert is facing operating while intoxicated charges. Meanwhile, Conkle is facing a misdemeanor count for minor consuming. Indiana State Police, the St. Anthony Fire Department, Memorial Hospital EMS, and a wrecker from cars all assisted. Huntingburg police are searching for the suspect or suspects responsible for a Tuesday afternoon vehicle theft. The department says just before 4:20 yesterday afternoon, someone stole a white 2011 four-door Honda Accord from the Huntingburg Event Center's parking lot. Police say the suspect went southbound with the vehicle before it disappeared from view. Police say the vehicle has a Kentucky license plate that reads 137 NBP. Anyone who sees the vehicle is asked to call 911 immediately. Other information about this case can also be reported to Huntingburg Police by calling 482-9111. Nationwide gas prices fell to their lowest level in 4 years last month. That's according to the latest report from AAA. AAA says the monthly average nationwide was $3.39 a gallon. That's 13 cents less per gallon than September of last year, and it represents a drop of 44 cents a gallon from September of 2012. Now, the national average dropped 35 cents a gallon from the end of June through yesterday. Locally, gas is between $3.32 and $3.34 a gallon in Jasper. It's at $3.32 a gallon in Huntingburg and Ferdinand. Moving outside of DuBois County now, Dale checks in at $3.35 a gallon for gas. The prices are a bit cheaper in Lagodi at $3.21 a gallon. Washington checks in at $3.08 a gallon, and French Lick at $3.26 a gallon. The average for Indiana is $3.28 a gallon. Analysts are saying the drop in prices is related to several different factors. These include a boom in North American petroleum production that has offset Middle East conflicts that typically raise gas prices. Another factor is the changeover to winter gasoline blends in conjunction with the end of the summer travel season. 26 different states, including Indiana, have at least one gas station selling fuel at $3 or less a gallon. Prices are expected to remain flat or go down more as we head into October. AAA says October gas prices have fallen by an average of 13 cents a gallon over the last 3 years. President Barack Obama's visit to southwestern Indiana will include a stop at a minority-owned steel processor for Toyota Motor Manufacturing Indiana. Obama will visit Millennium Steel Service LLC to mark Manufacturing Day on Friday. It says there's no time listed in a notification sent by the White House's Office of Legislative Affairs. Millennium Steel is located adjacent to the Toyota plant south of Princeton. Now, Millennium Steel was founded in 2001 as a joint venture between Henry Jackson and Toyota. The company's website says revenue grew from $37 million back in 2001 to $250,000 in 2011. Black Enterprise magazine rates the company one of the 100 top black-owned businesses in America. The company started with 10 employees. Gibson County officials say it now has 58. Now, this story also has a bit of a local connection to it. Marine One landed at the Huntingburg Airport yesterday afternoon ahead of the president's visit. The aircraft was stopping to get fuel. Huntingburg Airport Manager Travis McQueen says the whole thing came as a complete surprise. He says Marine One's landing was a big deal for the airport.
The popularity of having an aircraft like this with such a high profile always is an interesting thing to deal with and to welcome. Certainly glad that we have the ability to accommodate their needs as requested. It was an honor to work with the Marines that got out and kind of get to know them and chat with them briefly that were on the aircraft as well.
McQueen says one of the crew members on board hailed from southern Indiana's Brown County. Now, earlier today, Governor Mike Pence announced his plans to be at Evansville Regional Airport for the arrival of Air Force One. This trip will be Obama's 6th to Indiana, but the first one since May of 2011. Indiana residents are being reminded that Monday is the deadline to register to vote in the November 4th general election. Secretary of State Connie Lawson also is asking the families of military and overseas voters to connect their loved ones with an absentee ballot request. People can register to vote by going to indianavoters.com. Voters who mail their registration must have it postmarked by Monday. Lawson is also reminding Indiana residents they can begin voting by in-person absentee ballot Tuesday. She says a new Indiana Voters app allows people to register to vote online as well as look up their polling place, get driving directions to their polling location, find out who's on their ballot, track their absentee ballot application or provisional ballot information, and contact election officials. Here locally, Du Bois County Clerk Bridget Jarboe is also reminding folks about local absentee voting hours. Those will begin next Tuesday, October 7th, and will be held at the Du Bois County Courthouse daily from 8 to 11 a.m. and from noon to 4 p.m. That's Monday through Friday. The courthouse will close from 11 a.m. till noon for lunch. Absentee voting at the courthouse will continue each business day until noon on Monday, November 3rd, the day before the election. Voters can also vote in person absentee on Saturday, October 25th and Saturday, October 1st at the courthouse from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Satellite voting locations will also be set up at the Huntingburg Event Center and the Ferdinand Community Center from 3 till 7 p.m. Wednesday, October 29th through Friday, October 31st, and again on Saturday, November 1st between 8 a.m. and noon. Jarboe is also reminding voters that photo identification will be required to vote a regular absentee ballot. Those who wish to vote absentee or by mail or travel board need to call Jarboe's office at 481-7035 to request an application. The state's Bicentennial Nature Trust, or BNT, is faring very well, and 2 local land projects have been completed as part of that effort. In an open article sent to numerous media outlets, State Bicentennial Commission co-chairs Becky Skillman and Lee Hamilton say the idea has seen millions of dollars invested. A $20 million commitment from the state got the program started back in 2012, and the Lilly Endowment contributed $10 million to the effort. The Nina Mason Polium Charitable Trust granted funds for the program's administrative costs, and 86 other organizations, including several community foundations, have contributed matching funds to individual land trust projects. Skillman and Hamilton say 91 land acquisition projects have been approved thus far. Those projects span 48 of the state's 92 counties. Half of the projects are completed to this point, resulting in more than 8 square miles of land being set aside for conservation and recreation purposes. Now, as mentioned, 2 local land areas are part of the BNT and are completed projects. Spencer County's Lincoln State Park expanded south and westward with the purchase of 179 acres of upland forest area. This purchase made the park larger by 10% while protecting the Sarah Lincoln Nature Preserve located inside the park. Meanwhile, Sycamore Land Trust, the Patoka River National Wildlife Refuge, and Ducks Unlimited partnered with the BNT to get public access to the reclaimed Columbia mine spanning Pike and Gibson counties. That 1,000-plus acre site includes forested wetlands, upland tree and prairie plantings, and several different lakes. Now, folks can still take advantage of the BNT and the opportunities it has to offer. For more information, you can go online to in.gov/Nature Trust. Mentors for Youth is partnering with Young Life to co-host an upcoming event. The Thirsty for More Information Night is for folks who are considering volunteering for either organization or for anyone who wants to learn more about what volunteering would require. The event runs from 6 till 8 p.m. next Wednesday, October 8th at the Mill House in Jasper. The night will begin with a home brewing demonstration by the Du Bois County Suds Club. It concludes with a tour of Basket Case Brewing Company. Now, light appetizers will be served as part of the event. Current program volunteers will be available to answer any questions in a more relaxed environment. Folks will not be required to make any sort of a volunteer commitment. The night is simply designed for interested folks to learn about what it means to be a mentor and a leader. The time commitment for Mentors for Youth is 2 hours every other week with someone aged 6 to 18 for 1 year. Folks age 16 and older with a valid driver's license, insurance, and reliable transportation can be a mentor once the background check and application process is completed. Meanwhile, Young Life is looking for adults concerned enough about high school students to go to them and build real friendships with them. Leaders of that group commit to logging many hours with the kids where they are and as they are to share in their lives. For more information about either group, you can contact Courtney Canese with Mentors for Youth at 482-2227 or Jace Rashi with Young Life, that's 661-2098. The City of Huntingburg's Street Department will be conducting its fall cleanup days beginning tomorrow from noon to 7 p.m. The days will continue on Friday from noon to 7 p.m. and from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday. Fall cleanup days gives city residents the chance to safely dispose of any unwanted items. The cost is $2 per car, $5 per truck, $5 for a trailer under 8 feet, and $10 for a trailer over 8 feet. Additional fees apply for items like vehicle tires on rims, that's $3, vehicle tires without rims, $2, large truck and tractor tires, $5, and $6 per item for televisions, computers, and monitors. Small loose items must be placed in a trash bag to be accepted. Small items are considered those smaller than 12 to 18 inches. Items containing Freon like refrigerators, dehumidifiers, and air conditioners require a certificate from a licensed plumber stating that the Freon has been removed. Wood, plywood, asphalt shingles, and other construction debris will not be accepted. Fall cleanup days are for Huntingburg residents only. A utility bill and ID are required. The City of Huntingburg still reserves the right to refuse any items. For more information, you can contact Rachel Steckler at Huntingburg City Hall at 683-2211. A contractor could start work in the coming weeks as planned on a planned 10-story hotel and apartment complex in downtown Evansville that's faced recent delays. Project officials announced yesterday that Indianapolis-based Hunt Construction has been picked as the builder. Developers sought new bids after the first round of proposals came back above the project's $71 million budget. Developer HCW officials made design changes to bring the costs down. Now, Mayor Lloyd Winnicky says he expects final steps in the next few weeks will allow for construction to start. A groundbreaking ceremony for the hotel was held back in March, and a projected fall 2015 open has been pushed back to 2016. The City Council last year approved a $20 million city subsidy to go towards this project. Finally this evening, a federal judge has thrown out the lawsuit filed by the parents of an Indiana University student last seen more than 3 years ago against two men who were with her the night she vanished. Judge Tanya Walton Pratt says in her ruling issued yesterday that Lauren Spearer's parents did not present evidence showing the men had anything to do with her disappearance. The 20-year-old Greenburgh, New York native disappeared in June of 2011 after a night of partying with friends in Bloomington. The lawsuit claimed fellow students Jason Rosenbaum and Corey Rossman gave her alcohol and did not make sure she returned safely to her apartment, leading to her presumed death. Spearer family attorney Jason Barkley says rulings will be appealed as Spearer's parents try to find out what happened to her. All right, coming up after the break, your local forecast, sports with Kurt Guxell, and Inform with Chris Jones and Austin Rothgerber. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.